Just take us through the process and that feeling when you got the news that you were officially a United States citizen.
Oh my goodness. It was such a long process.
Hello, Eagle fans. This is Calvin Barnes of the NCCU Sports Network, and welcome back to Season 2 of Where Are They Now, where we interview former NCCU student athletes and take a look at what they're doing post-NCCU. Joining me today from the women's tennis program is none other than Tatiana Velasquez. Tatiana was part of the first women's tennis team during the Division I era at NCCU. She finished her career with 37 singles wins, including winning her final game versus Western Carolina. Now she's the founder of her own company and doing so many amazing things. Tatiana, thank you for taking the time out your day and welcome back to the nest.
Yes, I'm glad I'm back. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure for me to join this video series.
It's all good. And again, thank you for joining me. You're doing so many amazing things. So since graduating NCCU, just tell the people, what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been up to a lot. So I graduated from NCCU. I did a lot of traveling actually before I started medical school, because I knew it was going to be a big challenge. And then I actually completed my master's at NCCU. Then after I graduated from that, I prepared my application for med school, and I was able to get a scholarship so that, I could attend med school. It's challenging. I completed my education on a full scholarship. So I was trying to find ways to be able to accomplish this dream as well. Without the financial stress that sometimes it is to attend med school. Mm-hmm. Then I also had the opportunity to start my own company in the middle of doing med school. I know it sounds interesting, but I took 2.5 years off, and I prepared this project. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later.
You talked about, you got your master's at NCCU, you're in med school stuff right now. So what was that decision like, going back to school and, going in and getting that master's and going to med school?
I also like the environment very much because I understand the role it plays on people's health. So I was always very particular about letting people know and creating awareness of the environmental factors that are modifiable, that create better health for people. So that's how I started my company. And I didn't know how to do both at the same time, because it's obviously very challenging. But I went ahead and completed 2 years of medical school, took some time off, prepared this project, and teamed up with my brother, actually, who's a civil engineer, to get this project going. And now I'm back in school because I ultimately, medicine is where my true passion lies.
You talked about, starting your own company. So talk to us about, your own company and just what was the thought process behind all that?
It just happened like a very good opportunity that we were able to receive funding from local governments to help people go green. So it's not limited to just commercial buildings, but also residential buildings are able to qualify for this funding that does not depend on credit. So that's like a big factor. And it allows people to use the funding towards upgrades that have like an impact on your electric bill. So ultimately making them be more independent and even having the opportunity to have their own solar system installed in their houses, which is obviously huge to, in the process of going green.
And where's your company, based out of, can you give us a little bit more about that?
It's based in Miami. And the name of the company is Dr. Solar Florida. It's a limited liability company. One of the challenges is obviously in starting the company was that I don't have much of a construction background, but that was obviously provided by my brother. So, the combination of our efforts allowed us the opportunity to bring that to completion. And I'm proud of that because it's helping me get through med school debt-free, which is huge. And it's also helping me make a difference in the community, which I love.
Again, you talked about, having your brother part of this business, helping you out, talk about that, having like the fan, like, having your own brother, bringing up maybe like a little bit of family business right now.
We get along so well. He actually was at NCCU for a year, and he was on the path of becoming a physicist. So he knows a lot about the sciences too. And then, but he decided to like go a different route, and ultimately like went ahead and like applied for his engineering degree right away, which he already got. So he's obviously a tremendous support for me, and managing this contract and being able to complete this projects. I love it because we have an excellent relationship, and we also are able to help people. I feel like everyone that's involved with this process receives a benefit, not only financial, but also the opportunity to actually make a difference. I'm huge. Like I'm very big into this topic.
Let's go ahead and kind of go back a little bit to NCCU. While you was at NCCU, you did an internship at Duke. So talk about what was it like working there and the research that you did there.
I started doing neurology. So I worked for the neurology clinic, at Duke. Little after that, I wrote my own independent project, which allowed me the opportunity to also take courses at Duke University. So I stayed connected with them for a few years because they were my mentors for this project. It was about the variables that affect disproportionately the Hispanics and the African Americans, and make them be at higher risk for neurological disorders. So I thought it was a very interesting project, given that I'm Hispanic and I was attending NCCU. So we actually put together many posters and publications to help increase awareness of the factors, like I said, that can be changed and can be, preventable, so that you obviously get a benefit for your health down the road and as you age and grow older.
You were an international student athlete. First off, how did you learn about NCCU? What made you decide to come here?
I actually did my research about school, and I knew it was located in the middle of the research triangle, which was huge given that I was interested in medicine. So some of the grants that I received support from for my master's degree came from UNC. So I knew that the collaboration between the two schools, like NCCU and UNC, it was going to give me, an excellent opportunity to prepare for my future, as a medical doctor and scientist. So it was like the location was excellent for me, and also the inclination towards like science that the science department has, and like to increase the possibility to make your degrees, at be at a more prepared student for for the challenges of the future. So I think attending NCCU was critical to building the path that I decided to take today, and gave me the opportunity just to build confidence to manage my own company today. Like I feel absolutely confident to go into a household right now, or a commercial property, and do this energy unit conversion to actually efficiency units, like kilowatt hours to actually solar panels, because of my education at NCCU. Like the physics courses prepare me for this. And also NCCU is very big in service. So those two things definitely were fundamental to what I do now. And I'm very thankful for the education I received at NCCU.
You were the first international student athlete to receive a full scholarship in the women's tennis program. Talk about what the feeling was like, not only knowing you're getting a full ride, but you're making history here at NCCU.
That was definitely the goal, to receive a full scholarship. It was challenging at the beginning because I couldn't speak a word of English. So I relied so heavily on Coach Nas. He helped me through the entire process, and he always found ways to make this happen. They also had another guy from Chile. He was actually the first international on the guys team. His name is Andres Perez from Chile. And then, so the two of them just teamed up pretty well. And the entire process was just made so easy for me. And, having the opportunity to have that first scholarship just gave me, the desire to make a difference, so that they will open the opportunity for more athletes down the road, which I think is what eventually happened.
What are some of the challenges, in being an international student athlete that many people do not know about?
Well, like I mentioned, language barrier is one of them. Also, sometimes it's hard to understand the process, unless you have someone, and actually like entire school, because I cannot think of a time or a person that did not try to help me in this process. So just having NCCU as an institution, being so involved with the process, it was ultimately what made me want to go there, what actually became a realization.
Talk about that language barrier. What are some of the things that you did to try to, help get over that language barrier coming here?
I did a lot of work on my own. I spent a lot of hours in the library, and reading books and just trying to listen to music. And, I did whatever it took so that I could ace my courses. That's literally what the goal was. I didn't just want to pass. I didn't just want to graduate. I wanted to excel. And I was definitely putting all the effort necessary to make that happen. So I think just having the opportunity, like I said before, made me wanna do my absolute best. And I think it paid well, because I think the athletes now, they have a tremendous opportunity to still be on the tennis court and still have the opportunity to to attend their classes and shape their futures in the way they desire.
What is some advice that you would give an international student athlete attending or thinking about attending NCCU?
I think it's an excellent choice. And I think particularly if they're interested in science, they have so many grants now. I hear that they even have a PhD program that's available. They can actually, have while attending NCCU, and, by being student athletes, eventually they can, become assistant coaches, and still, still within the possibility to, get all these degrees and all this education that wasn't even available before. In my era, in my times, all those things just, were dreams. And now they're now possible after, these 10 years that have gone by. And, the fact that just people kept believing in the programs. And now I think if NCCU was a good choice before, now it's definitely you don't have to second guess it.
Go ahead, talk about the tennis court and everything. Talk about the relationship and the impact your head coach Nas had on you.
Coach Nas, we have built such a solid friendship through the years that at this point I just don't consider him my coach anymore. He's just family to me. Even before I publish papers, I send everything his way because I just like to get his opinion about everything. In life, we just stayed lifetime friends, and I just hope that whoever's there now continues that legacy of support and service, because I definitely I've been able to benefit from that, and it made a huge difference, in my career.
Let's talk about again on that tennis court. What were some of your favorite moments on your time when you played at NCCU?
Oh my God, I can mention so many. I remember riding in the van with Coach Naz. Sometimes we had the opportunity to ride with the guys on the team. So it was nice because we didn't practice at the same time. So traveling together, it was a good opportunity to chat with them and make some memories together. But also by rooming, by staying together, because my teammates were also my roommates in college at Eagle Landing. So spending all this time with all these girls that were from a completely different cultural background, it taught me so much, not only about the world, but about different ways to perceive life. And it was nice because we managed to spend some great times together. At times we used to cook together, and they would cook the traditional food from their countries. And so would the Colombians, the Puerto Ricans, the Ukrainians, the Russians. So it was just a variety of delicious food. And just to be able to have a grasp of their culture, just so close.
And let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit to right now. Just recently, you became a U.S. citizen. First things first, yes. Congratulations. I'm so glad that process happened. Just take us through the process and that feeling when you got the news that you were officially a United States citizen.
Oh my goodness. It was such a long process. Basically, I had my interview about 4 years ago. For whatever reason, the final decision just did not become available until last year, in the middle of a pandemic. I know. Little did I know the pandemic was actually going to help me close that deal, and it happened. I didn't expect it at the time, but I'm glad that I received the news, because I had been working towards, the completion of that goal for so long. And if I can use an analogy to describe that process, I could probably use having a match point for 4 years. It would be equivalent to a match point in tennis, and then not being able to win that last point that was necessary, to get the game and, become champion after 4 years. So yeah, it's definitely a long process, but another win for NCCU because we got it.
Yes, that's right. Another win for NCCU. We got it. It took a little bit of time, but I'm so glad that we actually got it. And again, congratulations once again. You talked about having that happen during the pandemic. So I have to ask you, working in the medicine field, how has it been, still now, but back then last year, working, during the pandemic, during this COVID-19 stuff?
Oh my God, you could sense so much fear. Just nurses and doctors, just medical practitioners in general did not know what to do. So when you look around and you look at your mentors and the people that's teaching you, and they're just clueless about how to handle this entire thing, it worries you, of course, because you're supposed to be there to give support, but you just don't know how to approach the situation. So at the beginning, it was very confusing. Eventually, we were actually transitioned to online learning because we were not licensed doctors at the time. So that was the way to protect us. The school decided that as much as they wanted us and needed us there, they needed to protect us. So, I'm glad I was able to help, to some capacity, but I'm ready now. After I get these final courses in, I'm ready. Put me back in the clinic, in the hospital. I want to win. I want to be able, exactly. I want to be able to help people. So let's see. I cannot wait to be a doctor.
Last season, we interviewed a couple former other student athletes, Naima Stennett, Stephen Aza Alsop. Talk about the relationship between, you two. which will actually
Oh
between
my,
all you.
yes, they are close friends of mine, both of them. I was able to attend the graduation ceremony for Steven after he graduated from Harvard. And Naima, she actually set the path for me to be rotating at Jackson Hospital here at University of Miami
Oh
now.
wow.
Yeah, I know. The friendship we share and the memories we created since college made, you know, made a huge difference for me to be able to, to be on the path I am today. We used to take the neuroscience course together. We aced the course. Not only we were all athletes and we had that competitive edge we were just talking about, but we all wanted to be very successful in our careers. So you could see how, you know, at times we'll be trying to be healthy competition, help each other and like, sharing some notes and stuff while we spend time together. But when it was time to take the test, it was the real deal. We wanted to be the best one in the class. And I would just be so confident after like I got my test back, I would see 102 on my exam. Be like, oh, I obviously won this time. And then Steven would turn his exam and he would score 105. And I was like, how is that even possible? Because of the extra credit, that was actually possible. And Naima, oh my God, like she's a superstar. So she would also score this crazy things on the exams. And we were constantly competing with each other, but we all knew we were on the path to do something great in life. We all took different, courses, and but I think we're all gonna be successful in what we do because not only because we truly apply ourselves, but because we also love what we do. We have this passion for science, and this passion, I mean, to allow people to access health in a way that's more sensitive to their needs. So I would say this is the overlap. And let's see. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do in the next 10 years.
You being an alumni, what are some of the things that you miss about the Nest?
Oh, I miss the Nest in general because they are so supportive and they're just so warm. And some of the skills that I was able to build while being, a student at NCCU have helped me throughout my career. For example, now I'm conducting this research in myofibroblastic tumors, and the combination of the immunohistochemistry protocols that I was able to do at NCCU at the Biomedical Biotechnology Research Institute on campus, and the ultrastructural findings we've been able to to gather. We put together some pretty nice data that's gonna be published in the Modern Pathology Journal, and it's also gonna be published in Spanish in Spain because exactly. So my mentor is actually Hispanic, so he's big into publishing in both languages so that we can create a greater impact. So I'm very thankful for the education I received at NCCU. I obviously miss being able to go back to my mentor and talk to him about some ideas for future research. He's excellent, and not only the professors, but also the athletic department. If it wasn't for them, I would have never gotten to NCCU. And this dream would not be possible.
And you talk about getting into NCC, and we kind of touched on it earlier. So there's a video going around that I saw on YouTube about your tennis video. Talk about that real quick. How did that everything about that happen?
First of all, I cannot believe you found that. That's so old. 2007, I published this video on YouTube to try to make it easier for coaches to find me and my athletic skills, so that they could make an offer, like a scholarship offer. And ultimately I ended up signing with NCCU because it didn't just offer the best deal. They also made me feel home since the very beginning, through Coach Nas, of course, and Jose Agudelo, this Spanish professor from Colombia that he found, of course, Coach Nas. And Andres, he's now living in Dubai, his best life. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't because they always teamed up so well, and they wanted to create a team. They didn't just want to win by having a few good guys on the team. They wanted that feeling of having a team. And eventually we did that. That's why you can see your records in the MEAC conference. We kind of aced the conference at some point. I think even the match that you were, that you mentioned against Western Carolina, I think I won 6-0, 6-0.
Ooh, domination.
Yeah, exactly. That was my last game for college. So just being surrounded by all these athletes that just wanted to win and wanted to win as a team, that was, what made it so special. I'm sure, by talking to them, that they all got what they wanted from life. And that's, what this is about.
Talked about it earlier about, the big importance of the education at NCCU. So for the people watching this, can you tell the people like some of the things that they may not know about the education at NCCU and how, impactful and major it is, comparing it to these other universities?
And I'm glad that you asked this, because being at NCCU, it allows you the opportunity to create a name for yourself. If I go back on campus, people know my name. When I go back to Duke's campus, even though I spent there quite a few years, it's hard to make a difference. They have all these brilliant scientists, so you have to be truly unique. And I love the challenge, but I also love the unique aspect of being at NCCU, because you can develop a name for yourself. People know who you are, and like I said before, the opportunities that you find there are excellent. And at times, you don't find as many students taking advantage of them. So I encourage people to do so, because they're right there. They're right in front of you. And, these are things you need to do now. Now is the time.
And, talking about 2020, the whole COVID and all that stuff, like I said, you was doing a lot of work. And again, thank you for all the work that you've done during the whole COVID-19 and still are doing stuff right now. But what's the one thing that you couldn't wait to do once everything started opening back up?
Obviously, the one thing I could not wait to do was playing tennis. Even though, you have enough space against whoever you're playing against, some people were just afraid of going out of their houses. So now that we're all vaccinated, or at least I hope so, I also encourage people to do so as, at the earliest convenience. I'm happy that now I can interact with people like I used to before. I'm this social person. I really like to get to know people, and, missing out on spending time with the family and, all those things that you were afraid of because you didn't want to make people sick.
But right now, we're about to go ahead and head to our rapid fire segment. Basically, I ask just a bunch of questions at you and see if you can answer them inside 45 seconds. It's going to be crazy. I hope you're ready.
No.
I hope you're ready. I'm about to put the 45 seconds on the clock.
Yes, I'm ready. Right. I was born ready.
Chicken tenders or chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets.
Serena or Naomi?
Serena.
Favorite musical artist?
Mana.
Funniest teammate at NCCU?
Funniest teammate?
Mm-hmm.
Andres Perez.
Your favorite family dish?
Sushi.
Your favorite professor at NCCU?
Oof, Dr. Gregory Cole.
You versus Stephen 1v1 in tennis. Who won in that matchup?
I won, of course.
You rather like movies or TV shows?
I like TV shows.
Florida or Columbia?
Florida.
And your favorite superhero?
My dad.
Hey, right there. Let's go. Right there. As the 45 seconds went off the clock. That was the rapid fire segment. Tatiana, thank you so much for playing that segment. Oh my God, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. And I'm just so sad that my dad cannot hear this. Well, he will hear it, but he needs translation.
Finishing up the interview right now, currently you're doing your own research. You're doing more research. I mean, you're always doing that. So, talk about the research that you're doing right now and the importance of it.
It's about the myofibroblastic tumors. And the importance of that is that eventually, what my ultimate goal is to create this urgent care. So the importance of that is, cancer, it's health issue. Mm-hmm. That's very considerable. So we're putting together these efforts to help the community, to obviously find ways to prevent the prevalence of cancer, and also to find medical ways to assist them, for the ones that already have been diagnosed already. I think it's excellent because, like I said before, having, with this urgent care ideas I have, I'm going to be able to combine the administrative component, of my business, of having my own business, and, of course, medicine, my career, to make a difference in people's lives. That's always what I'm trying to do.
Look back at your time at NCCU. If there's anybody that you would like to thank, the floor is yours, Tatiana.
Of course, it has to be Coach Nas first. you know that was going to happen.
Obviously, easy.
Yeah, he's my American father. And, I'm thankful for his friendship and, the possibility to be here, is thanks to him. So I wanted to, make a big emphasis on that. And obviously have to also thank a few professors in the science department, which will be like Dr. Nowusu. She's now the dean of the biology department, and her molecular biology class helped me a lot in life. Dr. Wendy Heck, she was my advisor, my academic advisor. She's a neuroscientist, and she helped me put together the independent study that I wrote for medical school and for Duke particularly. So, of course, I remember her a lot. Dr. Gregory Cole, which used his UNC grants, to get me through my master's degree. Dr. Johan Lee, who, taught me all the protocols that I use now. I feel like his influence in my life shaped my character, in a very special way. So it transformed me in the person I am today, and I'm obviously thankful for that. And the athletic department, Kyle Serba, how could I forget about him, huh? For always considering me, for anything that allows me the opportunity to contribute back to the nest.
Yes. Shout out to Kyle. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. And again, last question. There are 3 words to describe your time at NCCU. What would those 3 words be?
Best lifetime experience. I love it. I could not be me without NCCU, just by being able to do all the sciences, and just being able to even have this conversation. Come on. So thanks to NCCU.
Yes.
So I couldn't be any more grateful.
Tatiana, thank you so much for this interview. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. And again, keep doing things to represent NCCU. And we cannot wait to see what you hold in the future, what your path go. And again, congratulations on becoming a U.S. citizen. And again, everything else that you have accomplished. That's going to wrap up this episode of Where Are They Now? Again, we take a look at former NCCU student athletes and see what they're up to. Again, my name is Calvin Barnes. This is Tatiana Velasquez. Thank you, Eagle fans, for joining us. And again, remember, Eagle Pride, Amplified.
Amplified.
Yes. Catch you on the
See
next
you
one.
next time.